The truth about Kanye West's rise to fame. Kanye West has been a pop culture icon for the last couple of decades, but his rise to fame didn't come without several bumps along the way. Before we jump into today's video, remember to hit that like button so we know who Kanye's real fans are. Kanye's early life. Kanye is an incredibly controversial character, though he seems to have a business sense that is largely unmatched by anyone else in Hollywood. Kanye is always up to something, typically crafting outrageous ideas that will catch his fans and followers off guard. He is known for giving a front that he is a clueless narcissist, but that is not the case. Kanye is always hard at work behind the scenes, crafting his next big move. He has found ways to manipulate the general public unlike any other entertainer in recent years. Because of this, he has become a controversial and social media prodigy, gaining tens of millions of dollars throughout the process. Kanye was born in Georgia, but his parents divorced while he was still a toddler. This led to Kanye moving to Chicago at a young age, moving in with his mother. His father continued a successful career of his own, is a former Black Panther and a journalist. His father later shifted his career to be a Christian counselor, a move that Kanye supported and helped fund. Kanye's mother was a teacher and a college professor. Kanye grew up under his mother's care, though he seems to have kept in touch with his father over the years. Due to his mother's employment, Kanye was raised in a middle-class household for much of his childhood. When he was 10 years old, his mother transferred to a school in China to teach exchange students. Surprisingly, Kanye followed his mother to China and began schooling overseas. His mother says that he fit in well and learned the language very quickly. He has since forgotten most of what he learned, but he did very well in school. Kanye claims he got high grades throughout school, which seems to be true. He also had a gift for the arts. Kanye would write poetry at a very young age and eventually began to draw and write music when he was in the 3rd grade. He always found ways of expressing himself, writing his first rap song when he was just 13 years old. He told his mother about his ambitions of becoming an artist, and she was very supportive of his dreams and desires. He asked her to help him find the funds to visit a recording studio to track a rap song that he had written, and his mother hesitantly agreed. She soon found out that the supposed studio was a makeshift basement recording room with a microphone that hung from the ceiling by a clothes hanger wire. Regardless, Kanye pressed forward and soon became close friends with DJ No ID. It was this relationship that would help launch Kanye's career. Kanye and DJ No ID hit it off instantly and became like brothers to one another. DJ helped Kanye learn to sample songs and created his beats, thus enabling Kanye to begin working on his first original music album when he was just 15 years old. A short while after this, Kanye was invited to attend Chicago's American Academy of Arts on a full scholarship. He accepted the invitation and attended the school for a short time, later transferring to Chicago State University, the school where his mother was currently teaching. He studied English as a major, though his schooling quickly began to overrule his musical career. Kanye wasn't interested in giving up music, so, against his mother's wishes, he dropped out of college. After seeing Kanye's musical success, however, his mother quickly came around. She stated in an interview, "It was drummed into my head that college is the ticket to a good life. But some career goals don't require college." For Kanye to make an album called College Dropout, it was more about having the guts to embrace who you are, rather than following the path society has carved out for you. Kanye's rise. Kanye began his early music career as a producer rather than a standalone artist. He worked with various artists in the Chicago music scene, helping to record instrumentals and write lyrics for numerous creators. Kanye found his first taste of major success in 2000, when he was credited with saving Jay-Z's career due to his work on Jay-Z's album Blueprint. This album is widely considered to be one of the greatest rap albums of all time. And with Kanye being listed as the album's main producer, it's no surprise that Kanye soon found frequent work in the music industry. Kanye felt as though this could have been his big break as a rap artist. With his newfound success, he continued to release solar music of his own, expecting to strike a deal with a major record company. Though that wasn't the case. Even though Kanye was now recognized as being an incredible producer, he was unable to secure a deal from any major company, as his public image didn't fit the current gangster vibe of many other hip-hop artists. He managed to have a series of meetings with Capitol Records executives, but he was ultimately denied a record deal. Though Kanye was soon approached by Damon Dash, who signed him to Rockefeller Records to keep him from signing with another major label. Jay-Z mentioned in an interview that Rockefeller was even hesitant to sign Kanye because he was most well known in the rap community as being a producer, not a rapper. This didn't paint a good image for Kanye, as brands and labels were unsure how to market his future music. Though a short while after this, tragedy struck for Kanye. While driving home from a recording studio in California, Kanye fell asleep at the wheel, crashing his car head-on into another vehicle. The crash left Kanye with numerous injuries, including a broken jaw. His jaw had to be wired shut to make a full recovery. The accident inspired Kanye to write a song titled "Through the Wire," in which he expressed his experience after the crash. He recorded the song less than 2 weeks after being admitted to the hospital, with the studio recording taking place while Kanye's jaw was still wired shut. This song would be Kanye's first big hit, being released on his Get Well Soon mixtape in 2002. As this mixtape was released, Kanye announced his first major album, College Dropout, which, as we all know, launched Kanye into stardom and secured his career for decades to come. Kanye's future ventures. As Kanye found the success he'd been looking for in the music industry, he quickly began to expand his horizons into other areas of business. One of his first major interests was launching a clothing line. He began working in the clothing industry in 2005 when he announced that he would be releasing a clothing brand in the spring of 2006. Kanye said in an interview, "Now that I have a Grammy under my belt and late registration is finished, I'm ready to launch my clothing line next spring." He would work on his clothing brand for about 4 years before it was ultimately canceled, much to Kanye's dismay. Though it didn't take long for Kanye to gain the attention of another major competitor in the fashion industry, Nike. In the same year that his fashion line was canceled, Nike announced a collaboration with Kanye to release a new style of shoe that Kanye dubbed Yeezys. This would be the first time Nike launched a brand deal with a non-athlete, with the shoes proving to be wildly popular. This led to Nike relaunching the shoe in 2012. Kanye continued his work in the fashion industry throughout the late 2000s and early 2010s. He released a new line of shoes with Louis Vuitton in 2009 and worked on a line of silk scarves for the fashion brand Paris. He launched his women's fashion line DW Kanye West in October of 2011, premiering the line at Paris Fashion Week. A couple of years later in 2013, Adidas announced they had signed a deal with Kanye to release a new line of shoes. These shoes were also known as Yeezys, but this time they were called the Yeezy Boost. By 2015, Kanye continued the Yeezy brand, announcing his Yeezy Season clothing line, receiving mostly positive reviews by critics. Around this same time, Kanye's Yeezy shoes began to become incredibly popular, with the original run of Yeezy Boost selling out in just 10 minutes. As a result, in 2016, Adidas decided to renew its contract with Kanye and expand the Yeezy brand to other types of shoes, bringing the stock to numerous other locations across the United States. Yeezy is now recognized as one of the most influential shoe brands in the world. Kanye West for president. This brings us to Kanye's most recent endeavor, becoming the president of the United States. When Donald Trump became president back in 2016, this led to a whirlwind of individuals who claimed they'd be running for office. Most of these individuals backed out relatively quickly, but Trump set a new standard. If a reality television host can become president, anyone can. Kanye took this observation to heart and announced on July 4th, 2020, that he would be running for president. West appeared in an interview with Forbes just a few days later and announced that Michelle Tidball, a preacher from Wyoming, would be his running mate. He also announced that he'd be running independently as a member of the birthday party, claiming, "Because when we win, it's everybody's birthday." Around the same time, Kanye announced that he will no longer support Trump's political campaign, mentioning that Trump hid in a bunker during the recent pandemic. Various people have questioned if Kanye's political campaign is simply a publicity stunt to promote his music and fashion endeavors, but this doesn't seem to be entirely true. On July 15th, 2020, paperwork was filed with the Federal Election Commission in Kanye West's name under the BDY party affiliation. This paperwork filing came just days after rumors began to circulate that Kanye would be dropping out of the presidential race. However, he is currently rallying across the country to bring awareness to his campaign. So, as it stands, Kanye West plans on being a genuine candidate for the 2020 presidential elections. Time will tell how this turns out for